Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlemania back with another episode. With WrestleMania 36 just a day away, how will the WWE explain Roman Reigns' withdrawal from his match against Goldberg? Join us now as Wrestlemania analyzes the 3rd April edition of Friday Night SmackDown, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE's vows to fire any WrestleMania leakers, AEW's brush with the law, AEW's mega taping, John Cena's controversial promo pulled, and more. As always, Wrestlemania isn't going to recap the matches, but look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good. A sharp set. It's clear WWE is doing what it can to dress up the Performance Center so its production values are as close as it can get to the spectacle fans are used to seeing at WrestleMania. Granted, those production values may only rise to the level of a WrestleMania 12 or 13, but they're still way ahead of what we've seen over the last 2 weeks. As Wrestlelamia has noted before, the Performance Center isn't a dump, but there was room for improvement, and WWE looks to have done so. Hopefully, WrestleMania 36 will look even better. A fiendish finish. One of the negatives of running a live show is that mistakes can show up on air despite a 7-second delay, and that even the best production team can't match the spectacle produced by a pre-recorded and edited show. Tonight's confrontation between John Cena and The Fiend was fantastic, as Bray Wyatt's mind games took on a cinematic quality thanks to the WWE's editing booth. With rumors that the fans can expect at least one downright cinematic match, will the Firefly Funhouse match deliver? Actual matches. Fans used to seeing WrestleMania replays and squash matches must have done a double take tonight when they saw competitive matches taking place. Whether it was the opening triple threat women's match, the Tucker vs. Dolph match, or Dolph Ziggler vs. Shinsuke Nakamura, the WWE finally realized that fans don't want to see squash matches. Wrestlemania Hype. With WrestleMania coming in less than a day, the WWE did a good job hyping several of its SmackDown matches, including the ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, the SmackDown Women's Championship match, the Intercontinental Championship match, and others. That's how it should be, but sadly, the WWE hasn't spent enough time building up Mania on Raw and SmackDown, instead airing specials on ESPN and hoping to remind casual fans that Mania is still happening. GTV Back? The big reveal that Sonya Deville set up Otis to miss out on his date with Mandy Rose had Wrestlemania thinking of the Attitude Era's GTV, hidden camera segments used to advance angles in the WWF. While it's unlikely GTV is back, the mysterious footage should get fans wondering who exposed Deville's debauchery and what their motives are. The bad. The Universal Championship change-up. What the hell happened with Goldberg and Roman Reigns battling at WrestleMania for Dollar Bill's Universal Championship? Sure, most fans know Reigns pulled out last week, but the WWE completely glossed over Reigns' absence, instead throwing out a weak announcement that Braun Strowman will challenge Goldberg. As much as the WWE has been criticized for continuing WrestleMania, it deserves just as much criticism for its haphazard promotion of the show, something epitomized by just throwing Strowman into the match. An awful women's match. The triple threat match between Naomi, Lacey Evans, and Tamina was so bad that Wrestlemania thought we'd somehow intercepted an AEW replay of its women's division. It seems the chief culprit was Tamina, who had ring rust galore. The only highlight of the match was afterwards when Tamina dispatched with Bayley and Sasha Banks, showing she's out to become SmackDown Women's Champion. To be brutally frank, the WWE should have kept Tamina out of the title picture until she got back into ring shape. The Downright Ugly. This edition of SmackDown seemed more like a regular episode, complete with angles and competitive matches. The WWE deserves criticism for its, at times, poor promotion for Mania, but this episode was a vast improvement over the last 2 weeks' shows, which gives us hope that WrestleMania will be watchable. News. WWE Ready to fire leakers. Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso has a great article on this year's WrestleMania and the many changes caused by the ongoing outbreak. Barrasso discussed the various elements of the pre-taped show, with one of the most important being the necessity to prevent any spoilers from being leaked. According to Barrasso, the WWE isn't taking this lightly. Leaking information is a fireable offense, Sports Illustrated has learned. Along with McMahon, Kevin Dunn, Paul Heyman, and Bruce Pritchard, there are only a finite number of people present for each filming session. The majority of the agents are not present for the matches. The agents that are local to Florida include Adam Pearce, Road Dogg Jesse James, Jamie Noble, and Shawn Michaels, and they are the unlikeliest of candidates to leak match results. Keller went on to note that none of the parties involved have anything to gain by leaking the results for WWE's Show of Shows. Lead broadcaster Michael Cole gets no benefit from leaking results, nor do any of the other members of the broadcast team. The production team is incredibly talented in terms of filming, lighting, editing, and all other parts of their job, and it is a crew that values its job more than feeding info to reporters looking to break news. And the wrestlers would be unwise to destroy their standing in the company by leaking results. While some sites and Twitter users have claimed they have spoilers, it's doubtful anyone outside the WWE knows what happened this weekend. John Cena promo pulled? Twitter user Heel by Nature has posted a promo John Cena cut on Bray Wyatt for their match at WrestleMania. According to the message accompanying the now-deleted video, WWE has deleted all this promo. Cena refers to Bray Wyatt as Husky Harris in a mask. The promo has Cena all but burying Wyatt, telling Kayla Braxton that he knows that the Fiend is just Husky Harris in a mask. The promo was pulled and it's obvious why, or is it? Consider this. On one hand, the promo appears to remind the fans that Bray Wyatt was a loser before and that he may not be any better now. If the Fiend loses at WrestleMania, the promo was a bad move by WWE, but don't rule out the possibility that WWE leaked it and then pulled it to create some controversy for the Cena vs. Wyatt match. As we've seen countless times, the WWE loves working its fans through social media posts and interviews. The only thing Wrestlelamia hopes is that it is a work, as the WWE should never release a promo this negative towards a full-time performer who was recently its Universal Champion. What do you think of the promo? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. Did law enforcement try to shut down AEW's tapings? There was a story on 2nd April that Georgia law enforcement officials attempted to shut down the AEW TV tapings taking place at AEW star QT Marshall's Norcross, Georgia gym. However, AEW president Tony Khan contacted Wrestling Inc. to clarify what happened, and Wrestling Inc. is reporting, Khan explained to us that the official who stopped by was a local Georgia code enforcement official. They were there to ensure that everything was as agreed to in the permits AEW had attained. Khan stated that it was just a routine check-in like any other week, and everything was fine on both sides. Things are getting difficult for promotions looking to tape ahead, but it appears AEW has things taken care of. AEW's TV taping spree. With more states issuing stay-at-home orders, All Elite Wrestling has ensured that they have plenty of matches to air on both AEW Dark and Dynamite. Pro Wrestling Torch's Wade Keller recently reported, AEW finished their tapings just a few minutes ago in Norcross, Georgia before the midnight deadline Thursday night to close down all non-essential business. Sources from AEW indicate that they have enough footage taped to create storyline-advancing matches that can fill 2 hours of weekly TV for TNT every Wednesday night for weeks, if not months, if necessary. Some of the matches could end up airing on AEW Dark instead of Dynamite if stay-at-home orders lighten up, and it seems prudent and safe to gather wrestlers and crew again to film new content after a few weeks of isolation. What about the WWE though? With Florida under a stay-at-home order, what options does the WWE have? You can be certain that someone with Vince McMahon's money and political connections will make sure the WWE's programming continues in one way or another until things settle down. WWE sticking it to Fox and USA? The WWE likes to talk about loyalty, but anyone who's followed the company for long knows that business comes first, regardless of how long the WWE has been with an individual or a business partner. Despite WWE having a long relationship with the USA Network and a lucrative new deal with Fox, that hasn't stopped WWE from inking a deal with ESPN to air encore presentations of previous WrestleManias. Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso put things into perspective. WWE airs weekly on Fox and USA Network, and those networks, Fox in particular, were less than enthused that WWE made a deal to air 3 encore presentations of past WrestleManias on ESPN. This sheds light to the seemingly odd choice to have SmackDown and Raw air past Mania matches that were set to air only days later on ESPN. Did ESPN know about the WWE's double dipping, and if so, how did they feel about it? Consider the WWE's possible motivation. Fox anticipated those encore presentations would belong on FS1, but ESPN gets significantly more viewers, so WWE made the decision to air there. McMahon had control to leverage the best deal, which he was certainly entitled to do. WWE and Fox recently announced an agreement to air one-hour versions of past WrestleManias on FS1. The WWE knows that TV outlets, particularly sports networks, are hard up for content, original or recycled. As is usually the case, the WWE is looking for short-term gains regardless of how turning its back on existing partners for new partners affects it down the road. It's likely WWE is looking to earn as much cash as possible to make up for the losses from WrestleMania not airing at the Raymond James Stadium. Teddy Hart released from jail. Teddy Hart has had a string of run-ins with the law in Virginia, including a recent one for allegedly choking wrestler Maria Maniac. PW Insider has an update on Hart's situation, with Mike Johnson reporting, Edward Teddy Hart Annis was released from Richmond City Jail in Virginia this afternoon. Records indicate that he was released following a court order. With any luck, Hart won't be arrested again as he's already facing substantial charges. Wrestlelamia will keep you updated on this story. Another top star appearing on Broken Skull Sessions. Last but not least, Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions has featured some big guests, and it's hard to think of anyone any bigger than the one WWE Network News reports is next. Two-time Hall of Famer and pro wrestling icon Ric Flair will be the next guest on the Broken Skull Sessions. This edition of the series will air on Sunday, April 12th. Rick has appeared on Austin's previous interview program on the WWE Network, the Stone Cold Podcast, several years ago. Well guys, there you have it, WrestleLamia's analysis of the 3rd April SmackDown, as well as the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Did you watch tonight's show? If so, what did you think? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.